Welcome to the Sophistic Online documentation. In this video of the Composite Bridge tutorial, we show how to define the design combinations and how to do the superpositioning. We will start by defining the design combinations. For this purpose, we will use the task, combination, rules, and actions. Please insert it if it's not already displayed in the task tree. Now we can open the task and define the combinations, starting with the ultimate limit state combinations. First, insert a new combination. You can give it a number, respectively ID. The superposition load cases created for this combination can be assigned to a type. This enables to recognize which load cases are relevant for which design tasks when we do the checks later on. Here we use the ultimate limit state fundamental combination, of course. The created superposition results will be stored under load cases. We recommend to use the semi-automatic option for defining the corresponding load case numbers. Here you define a base load case number. The created superposition load cases can then be found under numbers made up of these base load case number plus a 2-digit number that depends on the superposition target. In this tutorial, we will use a base load case number of 3000 for this combination. Next, we actually define the combination with its actions and factors. Let's recall how the Eurocode defines the ultimate limit state combination. It is made up of the permanent actions, pre-stress, which is not relevant in our case, and the variable actions. Each action has to be multiplied by a safety factor. This factor depends on whether the effect is favorable or unfavorable, to account for the fact that it is very unlikely that all variable actions act simultaneously with the characteristic value. Only the variable action with the worst effect, called leading action, has to be taken by its full value. The other variable actions can be reduced by combination factors. Okay, how do we set this in the task? First, we add the actions. We take the permanent actions G for self-weight, additional dead loads, etc. Note that this action group contains all permanent actions that are available in the database. Here we want to make sure that really just the actions that we are interested in are added. So we go to the action group and manually select the actions G1 and G2 that we want to have in our combination. Note that creep and shrinkage is not contained there. We will add this next. Note also that we will create two combinations. One for the time of traffic opening, so with minimal creep effects in combination with the other variable actions, and one for the time at the end of life cycle containing the maximum creep effects. We will first now create the combination at traffic opening. Remember that when calculating the construction process, we assigned action C1 for creep and shrinkage until that point in time. So please add only action C1 here. Next, we will add the variable actions. We will add an action group for the leading variable action. We manually select the variable actions for temperature, settlement, and the traffic loads. The logic is that out of these actions, the one with the most unfavorable effect will be determined and added as leading variable action with the defined factors. We next add an action group for the other variable actions and also assign all the relevant variable actions here. From this group, All actions except the one determined as leading variable action will be added with the defined factors. Yet, we haven't defined these factors, so let's do that. We start with the permanent actions. For the ultimate limit state, we want to multiply with the safety factors. So we assign gamma u for the unfavorable case and gamma f for the favorable one. Note that the value of these factors are defined in the action manager for each action. In the same way, we add the safety factors for creep and shrinkage, and the leading variable action. For the other variable actions, the factor to be applied is safety factor times the combination factor psi0. So we set this here. To distinguish this combination for the time traffic opening, we finally adjust the title and create the combination. Note that by clicking on the combination, you get an overview of the assigned actions and factors. Next, we create the ultimate limit state combination with maximum creep and shrinkage. For this purpose, duplicate the selected combination, adjust the title and the base load case number, and then just add the action C2 for creep and shrinkage from traffic opening until end of life cycle, and assign, of course, the correct factors. Okay. Next, we will create the combinations for the serviceability limit state. We start with the characteristic one. Recall, this is like the ultimate limit state, just without safety factors. So we create the combinations once again for traffic opening and end of life cycle by duplicating the ULS combination and adjusting type, title, base load case, and the factors. Next, we add the frequent combinations in the same way by duplicate and modify. And finally, the quasi-permanent combination. For this combination there is no leading action, so we delete the corresponding action group. Finally, we can check the created combination rules once again by checking the action combinations in the summary. Okay, and then create the combination rules. Next, we carry out the superpositions. For this, we use the task superpositions for combination rules. Insert it, open the task, and add the combination rules for which you want to have a superposition. You can see that by default, the most reasonable result types are already defined as superposition targets. Of course, you can also modify if you like. Okay, please add all the combination rules. To recognize later in the checks for the design elements if the created load cases belong to the combination at traffic opening or to the combination at end of life cycle, we will adjust the load case titles accordingly. And run the superpositioning. Now you can check out the created superposition load cases. For example, that's it about design combinations and superpositioning. In the next video, we will proceed with the design checks.